We like to start our parade every day with our national anthem, and then today we're going to do something different besides our national anthem. We are going to do the Pledge of Allegiance. So everybody that can and hear me, please rise, face the biggest flag in the world, flying, and we will sing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, thank you. And now we're going to have Mr. Max Armstrong lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Max.
Thank you, Russell. It occurs to me that in all too many places in America anymore, people don't say the pledge, and I think probably fewer Americans even know the words. So if you would join me in the pledge and think about what we're saying as we give the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you. We do appreciate that, and we do appreciate all the military people throughout the world keeping us free so we get to do things like we're doing here today in Rantoul. Thank you, everybody, for coming. And now we're going to lead off the parade. There's two reasons why we have people here today. One, you just heard Max Armstrong, and the other is Mr. Darius Harms right here. Just celebrated a birthday yesterday, so give him a hand as he goes by. Darius Harms, one of the main reasons we have a show, and Max Armstrong, the other main reason. Everybody gets to see that, so we'll start the parade off with the mayor of Rantoul. He's going to be driving Miss Nora Voorhees' Farm All Age painted with the flag. It looks like the flag is part of the hood. Well, it is. It's painted on there just super nice. Okay. There you go, Chuck. You knew where fourth gear was. He wants to say just a couple of words about it.
Very good. Thank you, Russell. First of all, I want to say welcome to Rantoul. It is a real privilege to see all of you folks participating in this large agricultural event here in Central Illinois. It's a beautiful day to get out and share with each other and see all the new progress that's happening in agriculture. Being the mayor of Rantoul, this is one of the largest events that's held in Champaign County, and I'm glad that you're here to celebrate that with us. This is a celebration of past farmers, future farmers, and present farmers. And today I'm driving this H tractor in memory of my father-in-law, Harm Sluter. Harm farmed in Champaign County for 37 years and raised his family here. His son Lloyd and Wayne and Steve and his wife, my wife Linda, are here to celebrate in that life celebration of Harm. So this is a great opportunity, and I want to thank I&I and Half Century of Progress for this event. And I hope you all enjoy Rantoul. Let's hear it for Rantoul. All right, thank you very much. What an honor to be with you.
Thank you, Chuck. The mayor of Rantoul. Just remember, Chuck, we got a 5-mile-an-hour speed limit. Okay, otherwise we might get in trouble. Okay. Like I say, there's a main reason why we're all here today, and one of the main reasons is right here, Mr. Max Armstrong on his family 560. This thing was down there in southern Indiana, and we resurrected that thing, and it looks a lot better than new, don't it, Max? Yes, it was here in its work clothes, dirty work clothes. Thank you, Max. Right here, all the way from Monticello, Indiana, we got Mr. Wayne Hunt right here with a black stripe, 1466. Black stripe, 1466. Now, we do have several countries here represented today. Right here, we got Mr. Hendrik Kerkhoffs. He's from Belgium. This guy is from Belgium. They come all the way to the show here. He farms over there in Belgium, and he's driving a David Brown 980. It was a 990. I made it into a 980. Thank you, you and Anita, for coming to America once again. Thank you, Hendrik. Now, right here, we got the president of Chapter 10 right here, J.C. Reitmeyer from St. Joe, or Lower Flatville, like I used to say. He's driving this tractor and pulling this wagon because of what happened 90 years ago. There was a tri-state tornado down in southern Illinois, Indiana, part of Missouri, 90 years ago, and International Harvester brought a bunch of tractors and plows, just like what you see on that trailer there, to help them farm that year because everything got wiped out. There was over 600 people died in that tornado activity that time. So that's what that trailer is all about right there. Now we've got a Case 830 Case Somatic. Neil Barkley from Crawfordsville, Indiana, just down I-74 a little ways. Thank you, Neil, for bringing that Case 830 gas, and he's got a 4-bottom plow. Is it plowing tough out there? A little tough, isn't it? Yes, sirree. I got a fellow here from Pennsylvania helping me. What do you think of that? I like that. Jerry Miller and Jennifer on this WDR9. WDR9, that's a Rice Special. It's a diesel. It starts on gas and switches over to diesel. WDR9 Super. You got the Rice tires on the back, Rice tires on the front. Thank you for bringing that. Then we've got something here. It says from Mowequa, but he's from Oakley. It got painted in Mowequa. Alan McCool, driving a 1953 Super H. It's got the super headlights. The super headlights were different than the regular Farmall H. Super H right there with that chrome pipe. Now, it didn't come out with that. He got her all shined up so good. Now we're going to get a little bit bigger tractor. We had this tractor here 2 years ago that made its debut here in Illinois. This is coming to us from Holgate, Ohio. This is the Rantoul brothers. I better talk now because you won't hear me right away when this Detroit. It got a V12 Detroit, 750 horse. It's all motor right here. We finally put something on there that kind of slowed him down, a 20-bottom plow. They call it the earthquake for a reason right there. We got Rantoul brothers, we got Lee Rantoul, and then he got all the boys helping him over there at Holgate, Ohio. They brought that thing over here. That thing used to have a great big blade on the front. Now they're farming with it a little bit. But like I said, we finally slowed him down a little bit. It took 20 bottoms and plow to slow him down. Thank you very much. Yes, sir. V12 Detroit diesel turbocharged. Pulling that Mike Whalen hitch. Mike Whalen down in Isedale, Illinois, built that hitch for that thing. Quite the plow, quite the hitch. Gus Rinker's over there trying to help people behave out in the field there. How we doing? You got it takes a little bit to keep him going, doesn't it? Speaking of Mike Whalen, this is a Whalen tractor right here. He's got a McConnell Mark 990. These things were made in Carolina. Clayton Smith is driving it. Clayton helps Mike Whalen a little bit. But it's a Massey Ferguson turned into a McConnell Mark. What happened there? Massey quit making them and McConnell Mark started taking that over. Now what we got coming up here, we got an 856 that somebody could win on Sunday. If you got, there's only going to be 250 tickets sold. So if you want any kind of a chance, this is your chance. It's a lot better chance than winning the lottery right here. And that's what the Gator's doing right here. He's promoting this 856 custom. It's a custom. Now there's a few 856s, but there's very few 856 customs. And we got Lee Randall on board right here. Lee Randall, he's the guy that owns that earthquake tractor. He just lets the boys drive it once in a while. They do better than you. Thank you, Lee. Now right there, like I say, somebody's going to win that tractor right there Sunday afternoon. It's going to be a new owner. I would too. That's a nice, straight, original tractor right there. It is a nice tractor, you bet. Then we got Mr. Dean Blackford right here driving a John Deere. I can't believe he's driving a John Deere, but he was helping us park cars for the last 2 days. Now you're going to do it tomorrow too, ain't you, Dean? Dean Blackford, Paxton, Illinois. Then right here we got this John Deere 60 modified front wheel drive. Now this is a one-of-a-kind. There's a lot of one-of-a-kind stuff here. That's a homemade one-of-a-kind. 2 years ago he had a John Deere 60 here on tracks that he made. Now he makes the front wheel assist. I think he can have the market cornered on front wheel drive John Deere 60s. Then we've got a Cub here all the way from Paxton. Hannah Foster owns this. Darrell Foster's driving it. He's got a one-point hitch with a harrow. Now they made a lot of one-point hitch equipment for these Cubs, and that's one of them right there. Now you don't see many one-point hitch equipment anymore, especially a harrow like that. That is nice. And it takes them front wheelways to help hold it down, don't it? You bet. Then we have Faith Foster driving this OS4. Now there's not many of these things around either. Only one of 1,200. And that baler is also very unusual. It's a 50 automatic wire tie. It's amazing. Next car, okay. But that, even the tractor, there's just two unique pieces right there. Very, very unique pieces. Automatic wire tie baler right there. Then we got this guy here from Rensselaer, Indiana. Now he did something to a Model U that I like the Model U's, but he put a Detroit in this one. Rick Brunton from Rensselaer, Indiana got a Detroit diesel in it. It looks factory, but it's not. Thank you, Rick. Rensselaer, Indiana, right there. U special right there. John Deere 4020, boy, he got this thing chromed up from also from Rensselaer, Indiana. This is also Rick Brunton, and it's original tractor, but it's got 20,000 hours on this thing. 20,000 hours, and look how it looks. It's just a testimony of some of the tractors, how they built years ago. what you can still do with these and still farm with something like that. Boy, that is a pretty tractor. Got the M&W turbo and the M&W oil pan on that thing. Really sharp. Then we've got something a little unusual. Like I say, we got a lot of unusual things here. 1958 Wagner. Jacob Hawk driving it from Ada, Ohio. How about that? John Deere 414 got that. People was experimenting with four-wheel drives back in the late 50s, and they come up with a lot of things, and Wagner Brothers come up with one of the better ones at that time. Then we got a little miniature 1206 International. Eugene Harkey from Tyrone, Oklahoma. How about that? I get to Oklahoma quite a bit. My daughter lives out there. Built from a 125 Cub, and he makes it look like a 1206. Now, he did a nice job on that thing. The only thing is he needs a turbocharger on there yet. We'll have him work on that next. Then we got a 1974 Cushman right here. This is Bonita on that Cushman. Boy, you got that thing fixed up nice, too. You ride that thing because it's got a nice padded seat, I bet. Used to get around in factories with that thing. That was a very good thing. They always had some of them big factories you had to get around with something for the foreman and stuff. Then we've got a 656 diesel. John Laporte from Cassopolis, Michigan. Them guys come back again. They always got a whole trailer load of stuff. John's driving this. It's actively still used on the farm there in Cassopolis, Michigan. Thank you, John. And we've got two cylinders going right here. 1957 John Deere 620 gas, and it's a standard model. Now, you'd see a lot of row crops around here, but not too many standards. And he's also pulling a CC field cultivator. We had one just like that when I was little. I used to go out and field cultivate a lot with something exactly like that, only we had a red tractor on the front instead of green. Charlie Sher from Wayne, Ohio. Thank you, Charlie. Quite the rig there. And then we're going to have Alice Chalmers coming up next. 1956 WD-45 wide front end from Pemberville, Ohio. Alan Schneider. Factory power steering. Yeah, it's got the big unit on there. Yep, that's quite something. And then it's got that dirt box on the back on that snap coupler. Alice Chalmers had snap coupler. Just like International had a 2-point hitch, they had the snap coupler, and they had equipment just for Alice Chalmers. You could dig a basement with that thing in no time, I bet, huh? Yeah, right. Then we got John Deere here, just putt, putt, putt. Boy, that thing is idling slow. John Warner from Monclova, Ohio, 1955. John Deere 60 with a 2-bottom plow, a Ford number 44H. Got the umbrella nice and cool under there, ain't it? You know, when John Deere went to the 60s and 70s and 50s models, they put that 2-barrel carburetor, and they really would run smooth. And he really got that thing idling really nice right there. Thank you, John. Well, now we've got something different here. This is something Super AC, Casey Emnick family, Lewisport, Kentucky. Grandson is Weston, very rare, it's for sale. Just a Swingin', I think John Anderson had a song about this tractor, didn't he? Just a Swingin'. How about that? It was probably used for more than just a swing, though, wasn't it? A Christmas tree sprayer. How about that? Boy, now you could get in the Christmas tree business with that critter. Ain't that something? You know, if you painted that thing yellow, you could go to the Golden Arches then, couldn't you? 1206. Now, these tractors here, these are born in 1965. We're going to feature the 1965 class tomorrow in the parade, and he's driving it through right here. Quint and Bonnie Penn from Ewing, Missouri. Bought it after Dad passed and drove this tractor when he was 11 years old on Dad's farm. He restored it and did a super job there. 1206, the first turbocharged row crop tractor International come out with. Really a nice tractor. They rated them about 110 horse, but everybody running them about 160 or 70, I think. Oliver Super 55 with the umbrella. And then we got the family on the back here. Mark Snake from Decatur. The tractor's nickname is Baby Ollie. Baby Ollie. Super 55 Oliver. Just a neat little tractor. Same engine as the 66, 4-cylinder. You just don't let the clutch out too fast with everybody on the back though, do you? Super 55. Nice utility tractor right there. Then we got something a little bit unusual. 766 diesel. Kurt and Jeanette Nyans from Minneota, Minnesota. Kurt's driving it, purchased in 1974 with 200 hours. Now it's got 15,000 hours. How about that? Got the 360 cubic inch motor in that one. Nice shop on that one. Then we've got a Farmall M here. One of International's very most popular tractors was the M and the H. Gilbert Force from Saybrook. Not far from the M&W line, and probably got some M&W stuff on there. It looks like an M&W hydraulic pump on there. You got the 9-speed in there? No. Thank you, Gilbert. Gilbert Force from Saybrook. Uh-oh. Now we're driving a red one. See, I figure you'd have that John Deere here, Bob. You got a John Deere here too or not? One here. 1456. Bob Duvall from Lafayette, Indiana. Boy, he got that thing shined up nice too. Put it in high first now. There you go. 407 cubic inch in that 1456. Right before they come out with the 1466. About a 1970 model right there. Then Harold McQueen, he's also driving an International. My gosh. 2 John Deere guys on 2 Internationals in a row. Harold McQueen up in Manteno, Illinois. 1206. Did you plow with it yet, Harold, or not? You're going to? 1206. Like I say, super nice. The only ones with the white fenders and the white grill and the white front wheels, the white rear wheels, really are sharp. 1964 Oliver. This guy comes from Crawfordsville, Indiana. Tom Hedrick, second owner. It was a neighbor's tractor. Boy, you got that. Them old Olivers, they just run nice, don't they, Tom? Super nice. Then we've got a VAC case right here behind Tom. 1944 case. VAC, wide front end. Nice little unit right there. All the way from Tupelo, Mississippi. Tupelo, Mississippi. Elvis had a song about something about Tupelo. Now we got an LA case here. It's a 1952 Bruce and Carolyn Sisk from Shannon, Mississippi. Case 3-bottom plow. Thank you. It's a LP. Did it come on LP though? I bet it was switched over to LP. Factory. It is factory. Yes, sirree. Thank you, Bruce. Nice LA case. Now we got a John Deere G coming up here. 1952 Lee Blind from Annapolis, Illinois. Lee's driving it. The John Deere G, the big row crop tractor at the time for John Deere. 1952, 413 cubic inch in that John Deere G right there in 2 cylinders. Boy, he got that thing so nice. He polished on that block for an hour, I think, to get it that smooth. And then we got a 3020 diesel here, 1964. Be the first year to come out, and he's got power shift on it. Stephen Granger from Bourbonnais, Illinois. got the buddy seat by Granger Enterprises. So you got an Enterprise now, huh? There we go. 3020. First year they come out, 64. And then we got a 1966 John Deere 4020 right here from DeLand, Illinois. The Smith family, Ron and Jeff Smith. A 4020 gas. You don't see too many 4020 gases no more. A lot of diesel, but not too many gas. And that's a 65, 66 model right in there. That's when most of them were sold. They made them all the way up to 1972. And speaking of 1972, here's an example of one. Now this one has a side console on it. The oval muffler. No air cleaner through the hood, but it's a 4020. Last year that is made right there. 4020 diesel. And then we got another 4020 diesel. It's also a side console. That's a 1971. Edgar Hirsch from Millersburg, Kentucky, right there. Original hours, 296. 2,906. There we go. Repaint with only new shoes. You still only owe $30,000 on it. Boy, you know, if $1,000 30 years, you'll have it paid off, won't you? $1,000 a year. Yeah. Then we go back to Alice Chalmers again. D14. Dale Werner from Golconda, Illinois, down south there. AC D14. Boy, that's nice little. Then made the D14 and the D10 and stuff. They were just nice little chore tractors. Thank you, Dale. Then we got Minneapolis Moline G706. 1963. Craig Stalter from Covington. Over there by Grubb Implement over there. Clint's driving it and Farm Big. He said front wheel assist. Now, a 705 was a two-wheel drive, and the 706 was a four-wheel drive, and that 504 cubic inch diesel right there. You could got it in LP gas or diesel. They got the diesel model. Then what we got here, who's this guy right here? Yeah, Mike Silverhorn up there by Rockford. I'm going to say Rockford, but it's a small town up there, Capron or whatever, ain't it? 350 diesel. Now, you don't see many 350 diesel. You see a lot of gas, but not many diesel. Mike Silverhorn worked for International Harvester for several years, and you still like the Redwoods, don't you, Mike? You bet. Thank you, Mike, for all the help. 1957, 350 diesel. Now we got some put-together stuff here. Back then, in the 30s, they was trying to put anything together, so there was a lot of Model A Fords at the time. They made tractors out of that engine. So what we got here, John Baum from Appleton, Wisconsin, he's got a whole trailer load of these things on his trailer. I don't know why, you got 5 or 6 out there, John? 4 of them today? Okay. Only built 500, but they built about 1 million Model A Ford, so there's plenty of engines. 686. Oh, this is John Fredrickson's tractor right here. Max Steinbach from that's his buddy from Nebraska he always talks about right there. 1978, 686 gas right there. Thank you, Max, for coming from Nebraska. John Fredrickson, our past president of the I&I Club. Now we got somebody all the way down by Yale. Tim Irvin. Driving a 284. Yeah, I think you'd drive the 560, you know. You just like this little thing, don't you, Tim? Handier, yes, it's really nice. Tim Irvin, IH 284, 1977 model. Made by Komatsu, he says. Then we've got Doodlebug. We featured Doodlebug over at Penfield about 3 years ago or 2 years ago, and these guys had that over here, the Barnyard Special. A lot of Model A's got into a Doodlebug mode. They used the front end of the Model A, and then they put a truck rear end under them and maybe 2 transmissions to slow them down so they could rake hay or pull rack wagons and stuff with them. Right there. That was Reggie and Marcia Coden from Custer Park, Illinois. Thank you, Reggie. Massey Ferguson 50. Dwight Kraft from Jackson, Missouri. Very low number of these Massey Ferguson 50s. They made a Ferguson 50 and then they made the Massey Ferguson 50. It looks just about the same, a little bit different on the grill. 1957, that's right when that all took place, that merger right there. Dwight Kraft. Now we got one of them 1917 Ford Model T's touring car. Ernie Hoff from Havana. Ernie bought this car in 1948, drove it out to New York and Canada. And you found your way back here to Rantoul. By golly, how about that? Did you bring that whole crew with you? That looks like the whole crew that would have went out to New York. You didn't get in no trouble, did you? Okay. You know, a car like that, them girls kind of go over, kind of a chick magnet there, ain't it? 2510. David Watson from Metropolis, Illinois. That's way down in the southern part of the state. 1968, 2510. Got that post driver on the front. Make a fence in a hurry with that thing. 2510, John Deere. 1953 Willis Jeep CJ3B. Bob Christie from Greene, Ohio. Bob and Mindy in the seats there. PTO 3-point hitch, overdrive, dirt scoop. Restored in about the year of 2000. Boy, he's got all the attachments on that with that 3-point. 2255 Oliver. Now we got Kitty Cat V8 right here. 1973 Kenneth Rule from Poplar Bluff, Missouri. Restored by David Nelson and Agricrafts. Listen to that Cat V8 just purr there. That is a nice tractor. Boy, you got that thing shined up so nice. Got that sunshade on there, the roll bar. 2255 Oliver. They built the 2255 while they were still building some white tractors. That was the last green tractor ever made for the Oliver. And then we got a 1950 Oliver. It's a 1967, but it's a 1950 with a Detroit. You could have got this as a 6-cylinder or a Detroit. And this is Ed Moore driving Kenny Rule's. He's also from Poplar Bluff. 2-cycle Detroit right there. Makes a lot of noise out in the field. 212 cubic inch in 4 cylinders. That's all the motor there is. It just fires on every stroke though. 1957 Alice Chalmers D15. Wally Ruck from Tinley Park, Illinois. How about that? Wally driving it. Love the show. Thank you, Wally. You got a nice little Alice there. That is nice. Handy little tractor, ain't they? You bet. D15. Now we got to have a little different John Deere 60. We seen that front wheel assist. Now we got an Orchard Model 60. Tom Crawford from Cashiers, North Carolina. 1 of 45 made. Boy, that is nice. Now, I can't believe them fenders are that nice, looking after driving under them trees all them years. You probably did a little work on them, didn't you? A lot of work. That is nice, Tom. Thank you. Well, now we got another unique tractor here. 1963 John Deere 5010 Industrial, and they pulled scrapers with these things. John Deere made them off to the side like that so you could hook that scraper up there where the seat used to be. Really a nice unit out there scraping dirt. Probably built a lot of interstates with something like that back in the 60s. Then we got another John Deere Model 530. 1960, last of the 2-cylinders right here. Dan and Sandy Eck from Cresco, Michigan. Also got that 3-bottom plow there. I'd probably give that 530 all you want out here. Thank you, Dan. That's a nice, boy. These guys just shine them up so much, it's unreal. Oh, that's why she's behind you, so she's going to tell you where to go, ain't she? We got Sandy right there, also from Cresco, so they must live together yet. John Deere 630 LP. Also, now she got a slat bottom. Pulls easier that way. That slat bottom plow. That 145H slat bottom. 520 LP. Bruce Scarcliffe from Glassford, Illinois. One of 762 made. Well, you shined on that thing for a while, too. That is fresh paint. Don't touch that too much, do you? That looks pretty fresh to me. That is nice. Now we've got a 3020 standard right here. Mike Smith from Marion, Ohio. We think this is the only one built like this. One of one. I bet it is. Front wheel assist, standard. That is, yes, a diesel, power shift. There's just, no, that's got to be the only one, I bet. I bet it is. All the way from Ohio. Denise Smith driving it right there. Thank you, Denise. Well, now we got some others that are one of a kind here. 4230 John Deere. Can't be many like this. 1975 4230 low profile. He says it's one of 51 built. I believe that too, because there's none around here like that. They all had cabs on them. Not too many the 30 series had without cabs. That is nice. Then we got another unique tractor right here, a 4000. The 4000 in the John Deere line is about like that 856 Custom I was telling you about. They made a little cheaper version of a John Deere 4020 and they called it a 4000. Few different parts in the rear end. I had single headlights, no battery covers, just a few odds and ends, things like that. This is a 1971. This is also Kenny Smith's tractor. Doug Guthrie is driving it. Go Buckeyes. I'm going to say that in Illinois country. Hey, we're in Illini country right here. Thank you, Doug. Another 4000. Oh, now this one, it's a gas. There's not many of these either. 44,000 gas, 1970. Monroe, Wisconsin. Boy, he got that thing shined up too. Bartles Sandblasting and Restoration. Nick Bartles driving that one. Nice job. Holy cow. Then we got a Ford 861 Power Master right here. 5-speed transmission with a front wheel assist. Jeff Underwood from DeLonga, Georgia. It was an Elanco 4x4 front end. Yes, it is. Jeff Underwood driving it. That is nice. Not too many like that around. 861 Power Master. Those were sharp. Now who we got here? 3388. Now this is a little bit different thing too. We got Mr. Mike Franzen all the way from Iowa. Thank you, Mike. Driving Harms Farms, 3388 with that 1482 pull type combine. Mike runs a junkyard out there. I should say junkyard, a wrecking yard. There you go. Out there in Monmouth, Iowa. Thank you, Mike. That is quite the combine, dude. There's no pull type combines around this part of the world until now. Then we've got this 1960 880 Oliver. Fred Heyer from Lawton's, New York. He was here 2 years ago. I remember that, Fred. You was here 2 years ago, wasn't you? 1960 880, right before they come out with the 1800 series and 1600 series Olivers. It's also a wheatland. Now, there probably wasn't too many wheatlands out there in New York either, was there? No, it's probably all row crop. Thank you for coming again, Fred. Then we've got 1950 Oliver 77 coming up here. David and Gerald Orwig from Ladoga, Indiana. How would I say that? I'd have to have Max here to tell me that Indiana. Inner work clothes. You're in your work clothes right there. That's 77. Nice little tractor. 2-3 plow tractor. They was just easy handling. Boy, they didn't use much gas. Just a good tractor, them all over 77s. Now here comes the old chicken choker himself. Oh, you're dropping your chickens there. Don, don't drop your chickens. You got more chickens you can handle on that thing. Don Frite. He calls himself Reverend Rooster. I can see why. He's got a 1937 Ford business coupe now. You got a rat on this side. What are you going to do with that rat? Hey, can you reach that gear shift? You got a rat on the top. You got a crow on the back. You got roosters. My God. Hey, you got somebody in the trunk. I can see their gloves. Did you drop somebody in the trunk? Holy cow. You got to watch them chicken chokers over there from Deer Creek, Mackinac area. Them guys are something else. John Deere 60 right here. Don Manahan also from Mackinac. You're going to follow Don. Turn that chopper on. You might kind of get a chicken ground up in that thing yet. You better leave it on. You might get a chicken there. John Deere 60 with that 127 shredder right there. Uh-oh, all the way from Michigan, Mr. Ike Van, McBain, Michigan. If you read the sign on the back, he says his wife got the condo and he got all the crap in the condos that was left over. That's all she left you, everything on the truck. That's it, nothing else. At least she gave you a nice soft seat to sit on. Ike Van right there. (1970) John Deere 2520, Miss Penny Timmons from Burton, Ohio. She says she loves driving this tractor. I can see why. Got a power shift, 2520 diesel. Nice. What do you do with it? It looks so nice you can't hardly use it, can you? Just for parades. Oh, there you go. Thank you, Penny. Then we've got another one, 2510. This is a 2510. Jim Timmons from Burton, Ohio. Jim's driving it. There's only one of 964 of these made. The Fairview Farm. The only thing you ain't got written on there is your name. You got everything else on there. Boy, you got that all detailed so nice. Man, that is sharp. I like it. Thank you, Jim. Oh, you even got a horn. Wonderful. Horn in a seat. John Deere G single front wheel. A GN they call it then. 1947. David Nelson from New Haven, Missouri. Rachel Horstman and Tyler Nelson driving it. Restored by David Nelson of Agricrafts 20 years ago. That paint's been on there, ain't been on there for 20 years. Oh my gosh, that's shining way too nice. John Deere G with the nice John Deere fenders. Then we got a 730 diesel right behind that. Gene Lehman from Peru, Indiana on this John Deere 730 diesel. Electric start 730. It could have had a pony motor or electric start, and this one's got electric start. Gene is driving that thing. Now we got a 4020 diesel right here, 1972. Steve and Beverly Sonohoff, Oak Ridge, Missouri. Sonohoff right there, Steve driving it. Nice. Boy, you probably got a rag in your pocket to keep that thing shiny all the time. That is nice. Oh my gosh, now we got a John Frederickson tractor here, but we got Mr. Dave Cobb driving it. Dave Cobb from over there, Kentland, Indiana area. The only thing, Dave, this thing ain't got a turbocharger. You like them things with them fast turbochargers. At least it's got a V8, 1468. Got that truck motor V8 in that thing. Then we're going to go to a Farmall H with a factory international front end right there. Not too many H's with a factory wide front end. From Flemingsburg, Kentucky, Kathleen Balling right there. Boy, that is nice, Kathy. Thanks for bringing that. Okay. Why don't you give this gal a hand for running cards back and forth? That way I know what I'm talking about. She really helps us out a lot. All the way from up by Paxton. John Deere 4320, 1971. From Cambridge, Illinois, James Gradert. Have attended every show. You've been here every time. I can see that. You plow every time. 4320. Thank you, Jim. Jim and Joy. Another 1206. Don Sannon from Carlinville down there in Macoupin County. 1967, 1206. Nice original tractor right there. Use it out on the farm yet, don't you? You bet. 1206. Powerful tractor at that time in the mid 60s. The horsepower race was really on then. Now this guy here come a long way. He's about 2 miles due east of here. Dale Franzen driving Grandpa's 1941 Chevy truck. This was his grandpa's truck. Where's the grandkids? You could have 5 generations. You don't know? Oh, they're in school. What do you think's more important, driving in Grandpa's truck or going to school? Tomorrow? Thank you, Dale. You can go, Dale. Driving Reiner Ehler's truck. Now, if you look on this side, it says Thomasboro, but on the other side, it says Thomas Bobo. The guy painted his name on there. He got a case of beer for painting the name, so he must have got drunk before he got it done. Now we've got a Massey Ferguson 5200 right here. Mike Whalen's tractor. David Baker's driving it. It's got that Steiger disc behind it. Now David driving it, he comes from the Netherlands, so we have another guy drove quite a ways and flew quite a ways to get to the show. Appreciate that, David. Thank you. All the way, the tractor comes from Ivesdale, the south of the county here. John Deere 620. Larry Hasinger from Pontiac. Big Thresherman show coming up there next weekend up at Pontiac. 1957, Larry and Joe Hasinger. Thank you, Joe. And Larry. Larry's driving it today. And now we got this little IH 444. Gail and Linda Russa from Ipava, outside straight west of here. Gail Russa's driving it. That's very rare. Yes, it is. There's some 404s, but hardly any 444s. Hardly any of those tractors right around here, that's for sure. Then we've got a 1968 International 544. We had the 444, now we're going to 544. This is Linda driving it. There's not many of these around either. There's just not many of these around. 544 gas right there. Thank you, Linda. Linda Russo, Ipava, Illinois. John Deere Model R coming up right here. This is the first diesel tractor John Deere come up with in 1949, and this is a 1951 model. Grant Hodge from Tip City, Ohio. This tractor and plow been in the family since they was bought new in 1951. That's nice to have a family-owned tractor, always in the family, always in the shed out there. Been through a lot. Got that 4-bottom plow just right for that John Deere R right there. John Deere AMT 60. Stephen Hodge, he's also from Tip City, Ohio. Original, not restored, not widened. They had a recall. Oh, so you didn't get the recall. Yeah. Thank you, Steve. John, an International 615 combine. This was the little one in the lineup. They made a 615, 715, 815, and a 915, and this is the little one right here at that time. 1970, Andy Tordy from Earlville, up north there, up towards Mendota area. 615 combine, 2-row corn head on that. Been out in the field combining corn here. Thank you, Andy. And then Steve was driving it. Now we're going to have Drew Tordai from Earlville on his 1960 International number 93 combine. Now these things are a little different. You got to have the machine almost halfway in gear before the thing goes. Number 93 combine, also from Earlville. Drew is driving it. I'd like to put you in a field, an 80-acre field of soybeans, and kind of have you just work on that for about a week, Drew. That'd keep you busy for a week, I know. Number 93 combine right there. '46 International W4. This is a W4 coming up. This is Joey Tordai from Earlville. Now this W4 is what amounts to as an H as a standard model. It's the same basic tractor as an H, only it's just way low down right there. Joey's driving it. Thank you, Joey. Then we've got a 560, 1961 International 5. This is Lisa Tordai driving the 560. They let Lisa drive the big tractor today, I guess. 1961, they made these things to 1962, early 63, 560 gas. A lot of them around here look just like that, narrow front end. 15 5s, just the way they was. Now this thing here comes to us from Burlington, Kentucky. Mr. Mark Parker driving it. This 3088 is one of 33 of the last ones built in 1984. Boy, now he got this thing. I don't think you could get it any sharper than this tractor right here. That baby shined. You could comb and shave in that thing. That is nice. Mark Parker. Appreciate that, Mark. That is nice. I almost hate to get that thing even half dirty. 1984, last year for International, before they came Case IH. And then we got Chris Parker from Verona, Kentucky. Chris is driving it. It's a 1962 560 diesel. Got the factory front weights on it, factory front wheel weights, factory rear weights, 2-point hitch. Got it all, diesel. 282 diesel in that baby right there. $43.20 turbocharged. Got a weight bracket on, so he must be ready a little bit here too. Randy McLingle from Bremen, Indiana. Randy's driving it. Nice 4320 right there. Farmall M right here. It's a Louisville model. Farmall was making so many M's at that, Super M's at that time, they had to make some down Louisville, Kentucky. And this is one of them. It's got an L in the serial number. Drew Weaver from Osceola, I can't even say it, from Indiana. Dave is driving it. Got them wheel weights on the back. He's ready to go. Now this guy right here, folks, comes from Great Britain. From the UK, Mr. Richard Riley, and this tractor come from England. The whole thing, everybody in there come from England. 956 XL, Richard Riley, all the way from England. Did you drive it, or did you get on a boat? On a boat? Okay, I was gonna say, yeah, if you drove it, you had to go through a lot of water. Now, Dennis Burleson driving this Boer tractor. I just bought this tractor a week ago, and then I didn't think anybody would steal it, but by golly, Dennis stole it. You gonna drive it to 50, or you're gonna bring it to my house? What do you think of that thing, Dennis? It's kind of nice, ain't it? Yeah, it runs good. Made in Switzerland. That tractor's made in Switzerland. Just got it the other day. Now, speaking of going through an ocean, Mr. Ron Clancy, all the way from Australia, drove this Australian tractor all the way from Australia. Ron Clancy. Chamberlains were made in Australia, and they got taken over by John Deere. So this is before that, but Ron is in that foreign expert tent. You go to the expert tent, you'll see them go. Now another guy from Kentucky, Brian Gover. Now how come you're on an Alice Chalmers, Brian? They just told you to, or what? A D17, Series 1 maybe, the way it looks. D17, Brian Gover, Gover Farms. Now who's on the 1066? This is Woods Grover from Stanford, Kentucky. Are you going to push that Alice right on out there, Woods? There you go. Make him go. Thank you, Woods. 1066 Hydro. Speaking of hydrostat, we got this little Alice Chalmers 620 Hydro. Thomas Jansen from Farmington, Missouri. Chapman, right there. Brindley Hartley plow, factory front bumper. Yes, it is. You need to shine that plow up a little bit, though, Thomas. Get her out here in some of that good dirt. We'll shine you up in a hurry. Boy, then we got a nice yellow cub coming down here. Drew Hahn from Cox Creek, Kentucky. Cox's Creek. Drew is driving it. 1974 Cub with that front blade on there. See, now they added that step on there so you could actually get on and off real good. That is handy, that step. Little 60 cubic inch motor in them Cubs. Just a nice running little flathead engine. They are sweet running little tractors. 9 horsepower. That's all they had, rated at 9 horsepower. Uh-oh, now from Colchester, Illinois. This is not a factory 450. It's got a transplant in it. Marshall Litchfield driving this 1955 450 with 2 IH mufflers anyway. At least you got the international muffler, but you got that Chevrolet motor in there. 350 Chevrolet motor. Boy, it sounds nice and quiet. At least you can hear yourself think, Marshall. 3-bottom plow, that is nice. You forgot it was back there. Well, don't forget about it when you put it on the truck, that's for sure. Now we're going to have a Massey Harris self-propelled corn picker. That's all this thing would do was pick corn. That's all it would do is pick corn. So you use it once a year, but you had to have it something to pick the corn. Bob Harwick from Macomb, Illinois, used to pull with this guy several years ago. That's been about 35 years ago, Bob, at least. 1950 Massey self-propelled corn picker. Got a flathead Continental in them things. Been in the field every year since 1950. Boy, that'd be something to see that thing out in the field again. John Deere 5010. This is the big boy in the lineup. 1963. Gale Long from New Paris, Ohio. Dylan is driving it. 531 cubic inches in that baby. That was a big block John Deere at the time. Big old power. 4,000 diesel right here, Gale Long. And Gale is driving it, also from New Paris. 4,000 standard, that is nice. Big tires on the back. Then we've got this little guy here, 1010 diesel. 1010 diesel. Boy, there's not too many 1010 diesels. Joe Barshinger from Chabonneau up there by Paw Paw where they got all them wind tires up there. 1961, the year they come out. Power adjust rear wheels, 1010 diesel. That is kind of different. 4230 coming up right here with a narrow front end. Not too many like that. 4230 gas. They only made them gas for about a year or so, and that was it. Ludwig Family Farm, Jim Ludwig from Lanark, Illinois. One of 23 made, he said. I believe it. There just wasn't many gas 4230s. Boy, then we got another nice 1206 coming up here. 1965 Farmall 1206. Jason Hedrick from West Lafayette. Boy, there's just a lot of nice 1206s here, and this is another example of that nice 1206. Good job. Like I say, they used to be the big dogs. Some of them, that 5010 and the 1206s and the D21s, they was big power at that time. 1972 4620. Jay Somm from Papinal. Hydraulic front wheel assist. Now they had this hydraulic front wheel assist on some of these 4620s and some 4630s. Kind of a different deal the way that worked, and it was a nice deal, but it was just something a little different. 4630 right there. Thank you, Jay. Here we got another John Deere G. 1952, Dwayne Ingram from Lincoln, Illinois. Dwayne's driving it, restored in memory of his wife, Robin, who passed away in March of the 2014. Sorry. Dwayne Ingram from Lincoln, Illinois. Logan County. Been out plowing with that thing, got that 3-bottom all shined up. Now we got Ed Struble here with his Farmall F20. Ed's driving it. 1938, got that cast wheels on that F20. Got a battery on it, so he must have electric start on that thing. Got hydraulic, got overdrive, got it all. Fenders, factory fenders. Ain't that something? In its work clothes, still uses it. '67 1206, another nice 1206. Paul Miller from Thompsonville, Illinois. Paul's driving it. Boy, they just got a lot of nice 1206s here. We had one that had a cozy cab on it. It was nice when it was cold, but it was noisy. I like the open station look yet. That's still the sharp tractor. A lot of red and white up there. Thank you, Paul. Farmall M. 1948, Bill Max from Pine Village. Paula's on the back. How come, Paula, you're not driving it? You trust him? You trust him driving? He just was trying to throw you off. You notice that jerk? I know. Farmall, yeah. I'd get a stick and kind of poke him once in a while. Pine Village, Indiana, yes sirree. 4010 diesel right here, 4010 diesel standard. Bill Rice from Covington, Indiana. Bill's driving it. 1963, 4010 standard. Now here we got another John Deere R. Pulling a wagon with a bunch of people. Let's see who we got. Bill Rice, Craig Rader's driving it. Do we have anything about a wagon? No, we don't. So you're just along for the ride. Enjoying it? You got them little ones up there. What do you think of the ride? You like it up there? Yes. John Deere R, nice. 560 diesel. Who do we have here? We got Mr. Jerry Sandifer from Owensboro, Kentucky. 1960. 560 diesel. 3-bottom plow. 2-point hitch, factory front weights. Now here's something a little bit different again. An unstyled WC Alice pulling 2 plows, each 1-bottom. Frank and Donna Fall from Columbia City, Indiana. Frank's driving a 1937 unstyled WC. Well, that's quite the rig there. That's the hard way to get a 2-bottom plow right there. You got to pull 2 of them. That is nice. And now we got a 4230 with the sound guard cab. Jake Renner from Belleville, Illinois. Jake's driving it. He's a mechanic for Shiloh Valley Equipment, John Deere dealer down there. Imagine that he's driving a John Deere then. But he got a blue shirt on, so 4230 nary front end. $1975 International, 1468. Jake Renner, also from Belleville. John is driving this one. Got the DV 550 International V8. Different frame rails, so that's the only way you could get that thing. You couldn't just put a 6-cylinder in it. V8 power. There we got a Super 88 diesel right there. Dennis Worm from Bremen, Indiana. Dennis driving it. 1957. The late ones had the red wheels. The early ones had the green wheels. He's got the late one. Super 88 diesel. Very smooth, nice running tractor. Now we got the Super 77 right behind that. Tom Rink is driving Dennis's Super 77. Super 77 gas. Right there. Waukesha power in them things. Farmall H right there. 1946. Dan Irwin from Morocco, Indiana. Farmall H, one of the most popular. Farmall H and the Farmall M, they sold about 500,000 of them, I think, between the two of them. Oh, I know what this guy's doing. He's dropping stuff on the airport just on purpose. Super 77, John Thomas from Bossier, Louisiana. He's throwing this metal on there because what it amounted to, this tractor right here was an airport tractor, and it picked up metal. It's got a magnet on it. He'd pick up metal so the airplane wouldn't get a flat tire. That's what that amounts to. That's a Minneapolis Moline, 1957. The 400 Minneapolis. Basically about a Jetstar 3. You hear that clunk? That magnet works every time. That way the airplane wouldn't get a flat tire. Then we got a John Deere 730 diesel right there. 1959 Fred Headington from North Liberty, Indiana. Used on the farm for whatever he needs. 730 diesel, nice tractor. 3-point hitch. Then we got a 1951 John Deere B, Debbie Podemski from North Liberty. The Cyclone John Deere B with the clamshell fenders. Then we got Mark Pomitsky with his John Deere MT. That's a tricycle. The M would be the standard and the MT would be the tricycle, and he's got the tricycle from New Carlisle, Indiana, 1951. Then we got a 1952 W.D. Alice from Stilesville, Indiana, with that snap coupler 3-bottom plow. W.D., a lot of them like that with that wide front end. 1963 D15 high crop. It got them tall wheels. Ivel Ransom, Truro, Iowa. One of 2 known to exist. Truro, Iowa. LP gas high crop. Very unusual right there. John Deere 80. This replaced the Model R in the lineup. Bill Rice from Covington, driven by KW, 1955. 80. Only can make them in a diesel. All the way from White Heath now, we got Mr. Wayne Seifert on his Farmall Super C with a no-till planter. It had kind of a no-till, but it had them rotary hoe wheels on there. Been in the family since new. Got that C251 planter on the back. You're going to have to shine it up a little bit yet, Wayne. Them runners got too much paint on them yet. Craig Long, up there by Kankakee, Bourbonnais area, got his family 4010 diesel right there. Bought new by Jack Long. This is Craig. He's the guy that always gives us the safety meetings. So if anybody gets in trouble, the long arm of the law will get you. Jerry Long's Farmall 560 right there, 560 gas, also up there, Mantino, Illinois. Thank you, Jerry. Nice 560, got them factory fenders on there. Minneapolis Moline Model R. That was a little guy in the lineup from Minneapolis, had about 165 cubic inch motor. Different motor on them things. The head just kind of bolted on the side of the blocks and the valves was this way. They saved some parts by putting long rocker arms in them things. Model R, David Pittman from Decatur, Illinois. Grandson calls it couch moline. D17 Series 4. Oh, this is the last of the D17s right here. You can tell it's got the hydraulic pump over here on the side. Andy Gustafson from Byron, Illinois. D17. WD-45 diesel. Now there's not too many of these things around no more. 6-cylinder instead of a 4-cylinder. The gas had a 4-cylinder. The diesel had a 6-cylinder. Butis 6-cylinder in these things. John Gustafson driving this one, 1956. Now we got a little bit different one here. This is a 1206 with a transplant. It's got a DT V800. That was the same engine in their in the International 4586, and he's got that in a 1206. That would make that thing snort. That is nice. That is nice. Jerry Custer from Galva. Thank you, Jerry. That is nice. Now we got Mr. Beefy Biefeld. Beefy driving his 2MM. How would you say that? MMM. Beefy Biefeld up by Anchor, Illinois, with his double trouble M, a 41 and a 48. Got a lot of M&W stuff in them things too, don't you, Beefy? Uh-oh. Miss Tony Brown and Mr. Bryce Brown. Bryce is driving. How we doing, Bryce? Farmall B. Now, is this one yours or whose is this? Is that your tractor? That's Brooks's? That's Brett's? And he let you drive it? Boy, that's a nice brother, ain't it? All the way from Decatur. Oh, so Brett's driving this tractor. Okay, I see what's going on here. So who's is this yours, Brett, or whose is it? That one's yours? You got two tractors? Oh, that's Brooks's. Oh, I thought they said that was yours. You got the big tractor there, don't you? Good deal. Brett Brown, Decatur. Thank you, Brett. That's nice. Now we got a Fordson Major diesel right here. From Alvin, Illinois, Ray Baker driving his Fordson Major diesel, 1954. A lot of these things was over in England, but Ray's got one here. There are several around here, but not so much anymore. But Ray Baker over at Alvin, just almost on the state line over there. Thank you, Ray. Now we're going to go to Danville, Illinois. Oliver 88 diesel. Danny Owens, 1948 Oliver. It sounds a little better with that turbo on there, Danny. I can hear it. Danny Owens, Oakwood, Illinois. Oh, now here's a big old 6030, the big boy. Big two-wheel drive right here. Big old fat tires on there. Class of 65, he says. Mark Spreen from Williams, Indiana. Mike is driving it. 75, 60-30. Now, folks, if you haven't ever seen old Leapin' Leany, this is Leapin' Leany. Leapin' Leany, all the way from Golden, Illinois. These guys are over in Adams County. Jay Enan's driving Leapin' Leany right there. It takes 3 guys in the back to make sure he does that. Leapin' Leany. Haven't seen that thing around for years, but OJ and them guys that brought it all back. Leapin' Leany. By golly, we got to keep that old Model A around. Now, here's a low slung. Looks to me like you lost part of your tractor. It's all gone underneath there. It all left. You've been driving it so much, it just ground the bottom of it off. Nothing left. It's just all gone. That is something. Who was that? That was Robert Thomas from Morganfield, Kentucky. That is nice. Alice WC. This is a Streamline WC. Robert Beatty. Robert Beatty from Saybrook. This tractor was gone for 52 years and finally got it back. Same one. That is nice. Thank you, Robert. Bob Beatty, Saybrook. John Deere 520 coming up here with that number 30 combine. David Broccoli from Vermont, Illinois. He was stationed here in 1954 and 55 right here on Chanute. Looks a little different today though, doesn't it? Oh yeah, there you go. He was a jet engine instructor right here on the base. There's a lot of guys come back to Chanute and reminisce about their days here at Chanute. That is neat. Glad to have you back, David. 1946 Farm All H right here. Larry Lawrenson from Ohio, Illinois. Small town of Ohio. I remember when the basketball team did a real good that one year. That'd been a few years ago. Larry's driving it. This was Dad's tractor. Has M&W original pistons and 9-speed overdrive. That is nice for that 9-speed. Then we got a 1026. 1026. Jeff Helms from Nashville, Tennessee. Only one of 2,400 made, he said. Jeff is a broker and auctioneer, it says. How about that? Hey, Bobby, what do you give? What do you give? Hey, what's sold? I'll sell you that tractor today. Then we've got a Farm All H again with the Farm All H 1944 Tom Holmes from Lebanon, Tennessee. Red, white, and blue. You can't get any more patriotic than that. That is sharp. Lebanon, Tennessee. Flying the flag. Now we got a little fire engine. Are you carrying any water though? I don't want to know. Don't spray me. Don't spray me. No. Handmade toy file truck with all the bells and sirens. 1991 club car golf cart. They had the Doodlebug a while ago. Now they got this jobby too. Reggie and Marcia, we want to thank you guys for Custer. Here's Brooks. Now Brooks was always disking with this little cub. Thank you, Brooks. That is nice. I'm glad you brought the cub. I'm glad you didn't bring the disc though. You would have disced up to hold the runway. That wouldn't have been good. Jeff Brown. I also want to remind everybody, if you want to watch this parade again, you can go to wity.com and get on their website and watch this parade again. If you didn't like it the first time, you can see it the second time. What do you think? There's a lot to digest here, so we want to thank you folks for coming out to Rantoul today. Enjoy the day. Come back tomorrow. We're going to do it at 1 o'clock again. Tonight there's a sanctioned tractor pull. Don't forget about the tractor pull. We want to have everybody come out and watch tractors pull. We're going to have some big power and smoke, and we're going to have some show tractors too. So thank you all for coming out, and we'll see you down the road.